How did my client gain 100,000 followers in just 60 days with a new clothing brand while this brand owner struggles to get any views at all? Well, I'll just give you the answer, and it's not because of low quality posts like you might think. In fact, this struggling brand would probably get an A+ for product photography, but it's actually because all that they post is their products, almost like one big ad. But what should clothing brands post instead if they want to grow? Well, I challenged myself to create a clothing brand of my own to show you how to grow on Instagram fast with the same content method used by brands like Nike and Supreme. And to help me is my friend Casper. He's one of the co-founders of Mertra, a brand with over 400,000 Instagram followers, and they've mastered the art of short form content, frequently exceeding tens of millions of views. But what is this growth content method anyway? Well, let's look at a brand like UVU. For context, they're a running brand that only started a few years ago with the founder and his small group of friends. And back then, this is what their content looked like. It wasn't product images or ads. In fact, in most of the shots, you can hardly make out any of the products at all. Instead, we see them doing activities related to the brand, training hard together as a group. And the best part is that you can create the same kind of lifestyle content without thousands of dollars in production budget, and here's why. There is no expensive models or short film sets. It's literally just the founder and his friends. I don't even think they hired a videographer because this video was shot on an iPhone. And it's with this kind of content that they were able to grow enough to eventually hire the videographers and editors to make the wonderful content they do now. But how do you do that for your own brand? Well, let me show you how Casper and I created content with nothing but our friends and our phones so you don't get stuck posting to crickets.
The truth is, Casper, making content for any brand is just going to be difficult. I think it's going to make it much easier, especially because we're pushing to community, to just get the people around, like get people in the room and then use that as an opportunity, like a fake event, to just create content there. So let's literally just make the campaign concept, this fictional idea, into a literal event.
Let me give you some context. Over the last few episodes, Casper and I have been creating a brand we're calling Our Loft. And the mission and brand identity is simple. We're inspiring people to make friends outside of work. So far, we've created this t-shirt design that our invitees will be wearing at the event, so the content actually shows the product that we're selling, even if it's not product focused content.
So the concept being, we've got
the
this
Saturday,
the Saturday coffee club at someone's home. We've got this group of friends.
I'm gonna do that.
So I reckon we just, if we're gonna break this down into place, time, and then like
people,
what we're doing, and then who's coming,
and maybe objects involved, like props, equipment,
things we might need.
Things that we can like plan and prioritize.
Okay. Yeah.
Place, someone's crib.
Yeah. Well, we can just do it at my place because it's just going to be a coffee club. What are we doing at this event?
I think, just building off the whole idea of being at your home and Saturday, it's almost like having that gathering of catch up of just like an easy bite, easy coffee. Maybe just brainstorm a few friends that are similar to that kind of avatar, both boys and girls, that would suit that.
I reckon Micah, Phoebe and Lauren, a few of people I'm connected with, having some girls involved is going to be fantastic because they're going to take photos and videos that the guys just won't. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But we'll also get some boys in the mix. We'll give them a call.
That's a solid as crew. And then just props. I think like you obviously kind of mentioned them. You could be as specific as you wanted if you didn't have things, but like, mugs, coffee machine, what else you'd need? Like, bakery items, as you were saying, maybe that's croissants.
Beyond just like the obvious stuff for home cafe, to just make it really stylized, like what if we had a menu or something? People are just gonna eat whatever, just like a fake menu, just to make it really fun.
Because this event is so casual almost in its approach, I feel like the styling of the garments, although you want it to like look great and make the garment look great, it's not like should be a strict agenda compared to maybe other photo shoots when maybe stylings are way more appropriate for like a premium luxury brand.
Yeah.
We were really pleased with this Saturday morning kitchen coffee club idea for how it fit in with the brand and the kind of content it would enable us to create. But the truth is that a coffee event isn't going to work for your brand. So I'm going to show you the 3-step framework you need to turn your brand identity into a specific activity you can do with friends to create content. First, look to someone that embodies the brand. Casper and I made it easy for ourselves by already creating a customer avatar. But if you haven't yet got a customer avatar, never fear. Just imagine a friend or someone that you'd love to see wearing your products. And now you're on to step 2. Ask them what they do in their free time. A lot of brands base their target customers around a celebrity, which makes this step difficult. But if you do the first part correctly and pick a friend instead, you can give them a call or speak to them next time you meet in person and just ask them. Finally, pick the activity that relates to your brand. They might give you a lot of ideas for the many things they do in their free time, but you're just looking for the activity that most relates to your brand, and most importantly, something that's achievable on a small budget if you're going to turn this into content after all. So now we had our event planned, we had to make some calls and invite our friends.
Hey. Yo, what up, Max? How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm well, thanks. So we got a cool thing going on Saturday. We just thought we'd get some friends together and have some coffee, share some baked goods, possibly just be a part of like some of the content, wear some of the garms. We'd really love you to come. I was wondering if you had any plans and you're down to come hang out.
What time?
Like 8:39.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'll bring some baked goods. I can probably come at like 9, I think.
Sweet. You down to come out?
Yeah.
Cool. That sounds awesome. All right, 9 a.m. I'll see you at my place, okay? Oh, do you want to see the garms? This is the concept brand. We did this in 36 hours from design to print in person. I really hope you guys can come out, man. That'd be sick.
I'll make it happen, bro.
All right, bro. I'll text you the details. All right, talk soon.
Did you get that? Since you're hosting the event to create content, you're going to be putting your products on invitees, of course. So here's my hot tip. Show them the products before the day so they know exactly how to style it. Make sure they pick the right outfit so your piece looks the best it can. But even though we've got an event, we don't know what content we're creating, which is the whole point of bringing these people together. That leads us to the most effective way to ideate viral content ideas so you can grow fast.
We kind of need to do some proper research for what we're going to create so we can make the most of our time. So a really good way to go about this is by doing some content research. And I've picked a video that I think we should watch together.
I've got a couple as well, so.
And what we can do is we can break it down into format. So what does like the actual video that we're watching do? Or if we were to break it down to like a structure, what do they do? And then we'll call it twist. So how
a variation of it?
Yeah, how are we going to make it our own? Because we don't just want to copy it.
No.
We just want to use it and, call it the 3% rule, Virgil Abloh. Take what they've done, change it by 3%, and it makes it entirely new and fresh.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Should we roll?
Let's watch the first one.
Here we go, gang.
I'm trying a different coffee for each letter in the alphabet. Today's letter is F, and we're making a frappe, the Greek one, not the blended one that you're thinking.
So if we just break it down, we've got like voiceover plus coffee B-roll. So I was thinking the way that we make this into our own, what if we took this coffee B-roll, that was the visual. But as well as that, what we have is a voiceover of whoever's coffee order is speaking about what they like about community, why community is important to them. And then at the end, we could have them like drinking the coffee that we made with their specific order.
That's cool. I think it's so important with this brand particularly, but then all brands is like, there's going to be so many different individual like concepts and stories and experiences.
And I think it's probably less about opinions and more just about personal stories.
100%.
And it could give people a platform to say, I lost this person in my life and then I really had to go out. I had to find my third home. That became a great support network for me, and that's why community is so important.
Let's go again. I found a video that I really took a liking to, and it was on Instagram as well. And then we can just break it down as well.
Let's do it. Bro, track. What the heck?
So I think, you know, because we're gathering, you know, so many people to this event, if we're going to be filming most things, and it could be as simple as a greeting or a hug of like seeing your friend for the first time, I think it should just basically be we get as much content as possible and pretty much create a highlight montage that makes sense of, you know, it could be an embracing moment, but it also could be an action of what you see in that third home, being like sharing the pastries or something like this. The twist is our event itself, and then like what is happening. Instead of showcasing for a specific restaurant, it's going to be showcasing our friendships.
That's a really easy one that we could just gather up content from everyone coming to the event. Simply ask them to take some videos and then
and it's getting different perspective and angles without actually having to work too much. Got something else for me?
I do have one more for you. Let's check it out.
Hello, Caprica.
Hi, I was in last night with a couple of friends. I think I left my hat on the table, a green hat. We were sitting by the door.
Okay, sure, let me have a quick look.
Yeah, thanks. I was just with a couple of friends last night. We had a couple of cocktails, you know, apple spreads, margarita. Then some garlic chili prawns, some rigatoni, lamb shoulder ragu, a couple of pizzas, caprica eggs, and the puttanesca. The spaghetti, 2 plates, bottle of red, chilled, of course. And then for dessert we had a couple
Hello,
of...
you still there?
Oh, yes, hello?
Yeah, sorry, I had to look around. Couldn't find anything.
Oh, that's too bad. Anyway, I better come in and have a look myself. Can I book a table for 2 for tonight, please?
So good. So good. So format here, my thoughts is, again, like, and there's common themes between this, so it's not too hard to make all of this if we wanted to, but it's just like a montage for the visuals, plus the phone call.
I just looked at the top comments, so I'm going to just give a straight shout out. They wrote, it feels like a memory.
Yeah.
And the reason why I love that is the whole point of a third home and why you kind of want it is, you know, that's probably your most joyous memories.
Absolutely.
And like, it's meant to be full of that.
And with that in mind, my twist was we could have a montage again similar to the last one, just of us setting up the event actually at our coffee event, but the phone call can be those videos we just created inviting people to the event itself
and their real world reaction. Hey,
exactly. So it's literally, you know, calling people up saying, hey, we're doing this event on Saturday, it's just gonna be a cafe, it's pretty chill, bring your friends, are you down to come? They're like, yeah, absolutely. Like that audio plus the montage video, I think that's really powerful, and it tells a story in a very creative way.
I think that'll be the hero.
But how do you do that for your own brand? Well, researching content starts by searching for keywords. Since Casper and I are creating content around this Saturday morning coffee club, I search for terms like coffee and cafe, of course. At this point, I would keep them broad and directly related to your brand identity. And if you get stuck, here are a couple of ways to think about searching for terms. First, you could pick parallel terms. These are words that directly relate to your niche. Alternatively, search for adjacent terms. These are words that belong to related niches that could reveal transferable content ideas. For an example skate brand, a parallel term is skateboarding and an adjacent is surfing. But whatever you do, don't search for fashion. Again, that's gonna keep you making ads instead of content that'll actually grow your brand, and worse still, looking like every other brand that's already creating that kind of content. And now you've searched for your key terms, step 2 is to press the Reels filter. This is the menu option at the top of the Instagram Explore page after you hit search, and it's going to filter the view to only videos. The reason we do this is because Reels have greater reach among cold audiences that don't yet follow you, and since we're making content to grow, that's the very audience we want. And now it's time to scroll with intention. I want you to spend the next 10 minutes looking through these Reels and pay particular attention to ones that did especially well. For each of these, you're going to record the link and write down some points for how you'd make it your own. A good rule of thumb is Virgil Abloh's 3% rule. Just change one element of the video by about 3% and it'll be both familiar to viewers and fresh for your own brand. And finally, step 4 is to pick your favorites. This way you get the best of virality and your personal preference. And now, well, it's time to film. The good news is that everyone showed up to our Kitchen Coffee Club event, and they helped us on the content side of things as well by taking videos on their own phones. And so now the moment you've all been waiting for, the video itself. For reference, the following clip was created in under 24 hours from conception to completion, including the filming itself, giving you exactly 0 excuses to spend months on this. So get your popcorn and dim the lights. This is our growth video.
Bro, you called me like 18 times. What's going on?
What are you doing this Saturday morning?
This Saturday morning. Why's that?
Do you want to drink good coffee?
Yeah.
We're doing like a home coffee club. We're just gonna drink coffee. I'm inviting friends. Your sister's coming, actually. Are you down?
Yeah, what time?
9 o'clock.
Yeah, I'll be there. Just give me the dates and I'll pull up.
Alright, love ya.
Catch you there.
Bye.
Okay.
A couple of things I want you to take note of. First of all, the product isn't the focus, the people are. At this early stage in the brand's development where we haven't built an audience and no one knows what we're about, it's more important to push the brand identity and values than sell the products. In the same way, I believe you in the beginning should create this kind of content too. Secondly, it provides value. Not in the conventional sense as education does like this video, but entertainment for sure. The value is in showing viewers something interesting or curious, as in a kitchen coffee club that they don't see every day that might inspire them to start their own. Value is the underlying principle that makes any content work on social media. It's what causes someone to stay to the end or share it with a friend. And that brings me to the third takeaway. It's the potential to share. Anything that's cute, relatable, or inspiring gets shared. Our customer avatar is likely to watch this video and send it to a friend as an invite to their own Saturday morning coffee club. And now that I think about it, we could encourage sharing even more by writing a caption like, click share to invite your friend to coffee. But having some cool content alone isn't going to make your brand go viral. The truth is, no one knows what's gonna go viral before they post it. So for this next part of the strategy, I'll show you how to test content before your audience sees it so you can get massive views. And it's by using an Instagram feature called trial reels. If you turn on trial before you post a reel, it will only share the video with non-followers and it won't appear on your grid or the reels tab. So what does this mean for you? Well, since you can spam reels over and over again because no one that follows you is going to see it, you can test multiple versions of the same video. This is powerful. Whichever works best is the one that you share publicly. In other words, it gives each video the best chance to do the best that that piece of content could possibly do. But how do we turn our single video into a bunch of experiments without having to re-record new footage? Well, first, let's break down the video into basic elements. For example, just a few of its elements include the spoken hook, on-screen text, and the duration. There's a lot more elements than that, but this is a good start. And if we're treating this like a true science experiment, we have one element we change, or the independent variable, and others that stay the same, or control variables. In this case, I'm going to choose our spoken hook or the first few words as our independent variable. Well, step 2 is to create 5 to 10 versions of that video. Since the audio is a phone conversation, sometimes I might start with the greeting, or maybe we could try a version where it starts in the middle of the conversation. I'm just trying to get as creative as possible with different angles and wordings on that one section of the video. Then step 3, we post all the trials. You don't have to worry too much about when you post them. Just sit down for 30 minutes and post all of your versions back to back at the same time. Finally, pick winners. After a few days, look back over the content you shared and review the stats. What you're looking for is a version that did significantly better than all the others. That's the one that you're gonna share publicly to your grid. And now you've seen how to create content that actually grows your brand. But if you don't make a website that converts, all of this will be for nothing. So watch part 4 of Casper and I creating this brand, where we'll give you the step-by-step breakdown of website mistakes you're probably making and how to fix them. Click the video on screen now and I'll see you there.